Okay, Music Tech Kids, so I'm going to show you an example of what your project should look like when you are done. I'm going to read for you my narrative. It's not very long, it's about a page, but like I said, you don't have a length requirement. You just need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, like any good narrative should. And then on my iPad, I'm going to play for you my score that goes with it. So I have 3 sections. I have one for my beginning, and then it changes with my middle, and then I have one for the end, and then it kind of trails off with a little last sound that I added. When you record it for me, you don't have to say anything. If you have a title and you want to introduce it, you can. Other than that, you'll just start to read it and play your score. Okay, so here it goes. I awoke to a sound I could not identify. I'd fallen asleep the previous night to the sound of rain splattering on the windows, the room unfamiliar and cast in shadows. The sound echoed through the room once more, jerking me awake and upright. "Hello," I called through the darkness, allowing my eyes to adjust. Quietly, I rose from the bed and stepped gently towards the window. The majority of my view was obscured by thick branches of the ancient oak that lined the hotel building, making it difficult to see the grounds around. "What's wrong?" I jumped, clattering into the bedside table beside me as I swung around. My husband had roused, either by my movement or the same sound that had awakened me. I wasn't sure. "Did you hear anything out of the ordinary?" I asked softly, peering through the window once more. "Just your footsteps," he answered, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. I'd almost given up hope of identifying the sound when something from my peripherals caught my attention. Squinting my eyes towards the spot, my eyes focused on the unmistakable outline of a shadow moving across the grounds. "There's someone out there," I breathed. For some reason, the sight of the shadow made me shift with nerves. My husband opened his mouth to speak, cut off almost instantly by the same sound that had roused me. "See what I mean?" I exclaimed in a soft voice, continuing to watch the progression of the shadow. "What was that?" "It sounds like..." My husband's voice trailed off, his expression lost in thought. "Is someone dragging a tarp? But why would..." I cut off abruptly, my entire body suddenly paralyzed in fright. The shadow was no longer a shadow. Instead, the figure of the hotel manager had come into view. He seemed to be hauling something large and disfigured behind him, the sound echoing again. The manager paused in his progress, bent double as he heaved for breath. The tarp in his hands dropped, thudding unnervingly to the ground. As though I'd shouted, the manager straightened. His gaze pierced my own, glaring through the darkness. Backing away from the window, I found myself unconsciously shivering. "What's wrong?" my husband asked, rising from the bed in alarm. "We have to get out of here."